Hello and happy new year. It's our first video of 2024, which sounds really futuristic, especially after somebody just spent his entire Christmas break finally playing Cyberpunk. And look, I know you finished it way back in 2020, but me, I'm a patient gamer. I am back in the video saddle today to once again give you both a hint of things to come and a Stronghold Definitive Edition giveaway. So stick around to the end of the video if you think that's something that you would be interested in. 2023 was a hell of a year here at Firefly, with hundreds of thousands of you playing Stronghold Definitive Edition and a huge wave of positivity and support. Stronghold and its wonderful community feels like it's back in a big way, and for that, we thank you. Whether you left us a review on Steam, gave us paragraphs upon paragraphs of feedback, or just said, double rations, great. The vibes since launch have been amazing and have spurred us on to do bigger and better things with Stronghold going forward. Since launch, we have added a bunch of fixes, of course, but also several new features, some requested post-launch and others that we simply didn't have time to get in for our November 7th release date. You can check out our latest notes on Steam using the link in the description below, but highlights so far include multiplayer peacetime, team color selection, new zoom levels, cheat keys, mission rebalancing, many quality of life improvements, and my personal favorite, animated modes. Just look at those bad boys. So peaceful. Even better is that our next update will be the promised winter update. Releasing next month, this will include additional fixes and, most importantly, new content. So, let's talk about that. As we said just before launch, the success of DE in terms of wishlists allowed us to commit to a post-release roadmap of both free content and paid DLC. So it gives me great pleasure to announce that our next update for Stronghold DE will be our winter update, which will arrive alongside the Swine's Bay paid DLC campaign on February 13th. The free winter update will also add something that I have personally longed for in a Stronghold game. Drumroll please. A second economic campaign. While I'm not sure you can necessarily describe them as cozy or chill, economic campaigns have always provided a slightly different flavour of gameplay for Stronghold and, as a result, been a favourite among players since the very first game. I'll leave the story details for you to discover on your own, but I can say that everyone's favourite OG Stronghold voice actor, Jay Simon, has returned to narrate this 7-mission eco-campaign. When it comes to paid DLC, the 7 missions of Swine's Bay will cost $299, continuing the narrative from Escape from Snake Island, and will of course be narrated by our other returning OG Stronghold voice actor, the mighty Christopher Kent. After our winter update goes live, you'll notice while playing any of the dual campaign missions, either those included in the base game or our new DLC, that the Sergeant character Christopher plays also now has his own animations. One piece of feedback we heard loud and clear after launch was that these new campaign missions were missing these classic animations, so we went ahead and designed a new character to fit in with the style of the old games. Just like the rat, snake, pig and wolf would taunt you in the original Stronghold. While the Sergeant can't look exactly the same as the older characters due to changes in technology, missing source assets, or the relevant plugins simply not working anymore, we have tried to capture some of that original style and think we've got to a pretty great place with him. So let us know what you think. We had a great time working on him and want to hear your feedback. Speaking of feedback, among your excellent multiplayer suggestions, which led to many fixes, UI and quality of life improvements, one thing we also heard is that you want new maps and more of them. So in both the winter and spring updates, we will be adding new maps, starting with 1 new free build and 2 new multiplayer maps in the winter update. And yes, before you ask, they're all large size. First up in our winter update, we have Forest, a free build map described by its creators as a vast open plain, rich with resources and the chance for a peaceful castle life. That is, of course, until you accidentally trigger a bunch of invasions and... On the multiplayer side of things, we have Snake Island and Vile Gulch, 2 large maps hosting 2 and 4 players respectively. Snake Island will see a duo of lords or ladies battling it out across narrow paths, leading to a neutral peninsula. Vile Gulch, which I hope is a Halo 1 reference, meanwhile sees 4 players battling it out and, I quote, try to avoid getting stuck in the mud. Those of you who managed to catch our Stronghold DE roadmap video before launch will know that we have a spring update coming as well, which I'm pleased to say you won't have to wait long for. This next major update will round off our story with a Valley of the Wolf campaign DLC and also add a second castle trail of 10 missions for free. Outside of these updates, we're going to be a little quieter than usual on the dev side in 2024, while we tinker away at the future of the Stronghold series. This doesn't mean that we're not busy, but our show rather than tell approach to revealing Stronghold Definitive Edition was really well received, and we only want to share our future plans when there's something really juicy to watch and ideally play. Both Jamie and Aaron have plenty of awesome community content planned, which I hope you enjoy, and there will of course be ongoing MMO support for both Stronghold Kingdoms and Roman's Age of Caesar, but on the dev side, you'll have to forgive us for going dark for a short while. On the bright side, the last time we said something like this was back in September 2022, which we followed up with our Stronghold Definitive Edition reveal. So, trust me when I say you'll be excited for what comes next. Speaking of which, if you've kept an eye on our careers page, you might have guessed that as a studio, this is our biggest Stronghold project yet. Just as we did with Stronghold 2, we are dealing with a new engine, although this time it's Unreal 5 rather than our own, and that will take a long time to develop and release, especially to the standard that we're hoping for. But what the game also needs is you. Community feedback and input was hugely beneficial to Stronghold Definitive Edition, which is enjoying both critical and commercial success, and we intend to continue that with the Stronghold Unreal project. I can promise at least one demo between the game's reveal and release, but we'll almost certainly do more than that with additional demos and of course player surveys to collect your thoughts and feedback. These demos gave you an honest and open look at the game, so there was no surprises at launch, but they also crucially gave us time to test gameplay tweaks, fix bugs, and decide which features to concentrate on and improve in the time we had before launch. Wherever possible, we will be continuing this trend on any and all future projects, be they 2D or 3D. While we won't be doing 74 videos on Stronghold Unreal like we did with Stronghold Warlords, you can absolutely expect open and transparent development from the moment we have something to show you and in the run-up to that reveal. We are hoping to share more about the game as soon as we can, but it's a huge project for us, and either way I promise that the next major Stronghold development update will be a very exciting one indeed. Bear with us, you won't be disappointed. Now that you've made it through today's video, here is your reward, a Stronghold DE DLC giveaway. I do realize that if you're watching this video at home, there is a good chance that you already own Stronghold Definitive Edition. So instead, what we're going to be doing is giving away our first DLC. That's right, on February 13th, you can be among the first to try out our new DE campaign by winning a Steam code for yourself right here, right now. We don't want to overcomplicate this, so simply follow the link in the description below, enter the competition and check back on Monday, February 12th to see if you're a winner. And remember, even if you don't win, you're still a winner at heart, like Rocky Balboa, or I guess Michael B. Jordan for people younger than me. Great film, by the way, especially the first Creed. Really good. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with a wholesome montage of our 2023. But in the interest of transparency, let me address the elephant in the room. By which I mean the millions of comments asking whether we're doing Crusader Definitive Edition. Right now we're focused on DE and its DLCs. As for what comes after that, you already know that our growing team is hard at work on the next major mainline entry in the Stronghold series in Unreal 5, and beyond that, we can't say just yet. DE has been a wonderful return to the foundations of the series, and your love for classic 2D isometric strategy has been infectious. Once we're finished developing Stronghold DE, we can consider what that team does next, but just know that we're every bit as excited as you are about the possibilities on that front. But that's all I can talk about for today. If you liked today's video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe here to Firefly Studios on YouTube for the latest Stronghold Unreal and Stronghold DE news. And with that, let's look back at our 2023. Jamie, cue montage.